Today we're going to talk about progress. Hi Nicoletta, how are you?
Hi, Kat. I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing good, thank you. So today we're going to be talking about making progress in our business and how to stop comparing ourselves, how to avoid perfectionism, what to do when we feel impostery, like imposter syndrome. And I know this is something that we are both struggling a little bit with our business in maybe different ways. And I know that you were feeling impostery yesterday. So can you give us a bit of brief overview about what's going on in your business and what you're struggling with?
Okay, so basically, as everybody knows, as web designer, you are on the internet looking at nice websites and judge other people's websites, but also compare yourself with other freelancers and other professionals that have better websites, better progress, better portfolio, all that. And after one discovery call, I was like, okay, this direction is interesting. And what I have been doing for the past year, have I missed the mark? Am I on the right track? I'm submitting actually a business plan for government support. And in the business plan, I have laid out all my goals and like all my plan where I'm seeing myself in 2 to 5 years and how that will work for me as a business. And it was just one of those days when you question everything and you're like, have I done anything for the past 1 year, or am I still in the same place, or is it just so much more out there that I cannot choose from, or what is happening? And I was like talking to you on messages and I was like, how are you today? And I'm like, I'm feeling like I'm doing progress, but very slow. And you just wrote that line that slow progress is still progress. And I was like, right, just do today something little bit forward to the goal, towards the direction you're headed from 1 year ago. And I was like, maybe I should read that business plan again, consider the discovery call that I had, that input that they gave me as an idea for a collaboration, and based on those two, make the merge again as a UX designer and find myself, where do I fit in between, and what I actually can build up on it, like my skills, what can I still polish and what I can do, and how that will impact my business in next 1 year or something like that. So it was just one of those days when you're like reflecting, thinking about where you are, what do you do, are you good enough, is your website as impressive as everybody else's? And I was like, yeah, my website is not perfect and it's not funnel friendly and it's not converting that well because I haven't put the effort behind it. So in general, it was just a reminder that perfectionism doesn't exist. And I was like, okay, let me do this as a post just to remind myself and others that that's not the goal. It's just the goal to move forward and do a little bit today towards the future. And that's it.
Yeah,
Basically.
no, it's interesting. So before you had this discovery call, which gave you this idea of a different business direction, were you
Yeah.
feeling impostery or anything like that? And then you had,
Yeah, I feel imposter every now and then because
yeah,
it's like
every day.
basically because every project is different and every project like requires a different set of skills, and sometimes one skill you are like, oh, I'm like probably 90% good at it, but the others are like little less percentages, and they all want like on certain how to say requirement to be 100%. And there's no such thing in any professional out there. You would notice when you work with people that there's no single person out there that is good at all 5 or 10 things that you listed in that posting or requirement. And we just fake it not, but we try our best every time. When we take up on a project, we learn and build up our skills on top of that job experience and project. So yeah, every time I have a new project, there is something challenging me as a professional, and I'm like, okay, I have to really work on that and try extra 20% because I'm not that experienced with it, or I had experience but I haven't like polished it up or worked with that thing or that tool in the past 2 years or 1 year or a few months, and it's just like you forget things. You cannot be like one of those game characters, like 100% on every single tool that you have in your backpack. That's not possible. It's just like how it is.
Yeah, no, 100%. What you said just then about like being realistic about where you are. If it is the first time that you're doing this, then it's okay that you feel this imposter syndrome type thing.
Yeah.
I remember having this conversation with my therapist actually, because I think I came to her and maybe I didn't fully understand what imposter syndrome meant. I was just always feeling maybe insecure about my work or that I wasn't good enough. And I came to her and I was like, I have imposter syndrome, you know? And she's like, well, what does that mean to you? Or when are you feeling it? And all of the things that I said to her, so go back a bit. I've been working as a designer for around 8 years or so, but only in the last year or two has been freelancing and, well, fully freelancing and doing like marketing online. So a lot of things to do with the marketing side of it, I get a lot of imposter syndrome, which then trickles into my design thing. And she made me realize that it's okay that I feel, I have to separate them. And it's okay that I feel this imposter syndrome when I'm doing like marketing on Instagram, because it is the first time that I'm doing that. It doesn't affect, it's not that I'm not, exactly. The design side and the marketing is different and I need to separate them. And also to be realistic, as you said, if it is a new type of project that I haven't done before, it's okay that I'm maybe thinking, I don't know what I'm doing. This is a normal feeling because you don't know what you're doing. And that's okay also, you know?
I think just a suggestion, maybe next time when you encounter another project that you don't feel comfortable taking it, just think about it. Would it be fun if I actually know how to do this and challenge myself and try it out, even though I know that I'm not 100% good at that specific thing, you know? Most of the times, you probably are the same. As women, we dismiss so many opportunities just because we are not like on 100%. And most of the times, men are like, you know what? I'm gonna just say that I'm good at it and I'm gonna figure out on the way. And internet is available to everybody, and this is how we all learn and perfect our skills, with courses, with time, with projects, with trial and error. Of course, that would be the intention, not to be on the cost of the client, the business, and the project. But if you have the good time frame, I don't think it's not possible to succeed.
Yeah, no, definitely.
So have you felt imposter recently as well?
So I think since I had that conversation, I started to learn how to understand those types of feelings. So I haven't felt impostery, but something I do struggle with is feeling like I'm making progress. So a lot of the times in my business, I'm making small progress, but I don't really notice those feelings. And I'm hoping in my head that I will do something and then the next day I will feel completely different, or my business will be completely different, or even I'm expecting quicker progress, I guess. And so I think that I focus on an end point and then I just want to get to that end point and I don't really enjoy the progress that I'm doing, or I'm not enjoying these little mini tasks or mini small steps that I'm making. So that's something that I struggle with instead.
Okay. Basically, acknowledging the small achievements on the way to the big goal. That's
exactly,
difficult.
Yeah. And I think it's really important to feel like you're making progress too. You need to do that.
Yeah, I think we overlook those small changes and small steps that we do on the way to the big thing, whatever that is for every single business out there. And yeah, I think we should celebrate more small things, like showing up today, not feeling good at all, but just showing up. Okay, I win today. I win. I made like 4 hours of work out of the whole day. That's great. I'm winning. Like, that's enough.
Yeah,
You know?
no, definitely. I think, something I've started doing is like when I'm having bad days and I really don't feel like doing anything, and I write down 2 or 3 really small things that I can actually achieve rather than setting big goals for myself. Then once I've done those things, being like, yes, like you did really well. Like
Yeah,
for me. And that makes
absolutely.
it a lot easier. Yeah.
Yeah, and the whole community and Instagram accountability thing, when you write down what you're going to do today, that actually works. Like, what did I say that I'm going to do today? Let me check on that again and review the tasks. And I'm like, okay, today I said I'm going to finish that, so I better finish it, you know?
Yeah. Oh, that's interesting. I never thought about doing that. But yeah,
Mm,
makes sense.
yeah, awesome.
So before we finish up, what advice would you give to our listeners, Nicoletta, for when they're struggling with imposter syndrome or feeling like they're not making progress?
Well, first, before you start anything, I hope you have like a knowledge base of or a map or a plan, business or other, just to see where you want to go and just get back to that thing, read it, revisit it if it has changed like for the past, I don't know, a few months or a year, and fill in the changes and just make sure you get back to it and you're like, okay, remind yourself, I'm going that way. This is what I want to do. This is where I'm going. All the other things don't matter. Go back to the source and check your direction. That would be my advice.
Yeah, I 100% agree. I think it's really important to remember also why you're doing something. Like if
The why.
you started your business, I don't know, to make a better life for your family, think about that, you know, your personal motivations as well as just the business ones.
Of course,
Um,
of course.
yeah.
And you, what would you advise our listeners?
So I would suggest make note of the small wins that you are having and celebrate those as well. Even if it's something as easy as like sending an email that you didn't want to send, still be, you know, if it's an awkward email that you're like, oh, what am I going to say? And then when you send it, be like, yes, good for you. Pat on the back. Well done.
Absolutely. That email that you sent hit so well, like the spot, the center.
Yeah. I think we all have those, yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah, love hearing your thoughts, Nicoletta. And I hope everyone listening learned something, maybe take something away. And yeah, we'll
Yeah.
see you next time.
See you next time. And don't forget to subscribe to our podcast to listen to more interesting episodes related to freelancing, business, surviving, and struggling as business owners.
Yes. See you
See
next
you next
time.
time. Bye.